Good evening. This is my upgrade for the shopping list app 2111.3. Um, Here's what I did. I have two new features added. Um, the first is to alphabetically sort the list. I'm doing this automatically as I add items and on the launch of the app. And then the other one is to filter our items based on their categories. Starting with the first one, to basically the description I put uses a function I made to sort the list of items alphabetically automatically. I know the grammar's kind of bad. Bear with me, I'm tired. Um, the new thing I added for this was the compare to, and it took me about an hour in total to create it. And then the harder part was actually figuring out where I actually wanted to use it. Um, I suppose tech demo, showing off, it works. Everything is alphabetically sorted. If I want to test something, and let's do apples. APLES, make sure this works. And then I can come over here to fruit, add an item. And when it gets added, it sorts automatically. That's that. And then I guess to show the other side, I can say Zapples. That's kind of fun. And then let's do, let's do hygiene for that one. Because that'll help me later when I want to show my filters. So that's that. It's working. As soon as I add it, it does it automatically. Let me show the code for that one, and we can jump into the other one after. I pulled it out just to kind of make it easily in this new folder I called New Widgets. It's actually the code itself is actually very simple. This is kind of a smaller one. Just figuring out where to put it was the hard part, but kind of just quickly going over the code. I have this function. Basically, it takes in a list of items, and then it returns the sorted items. The hardest part of this was I've never actually sorted a list in Dart, so I kind of had to go like, okay, how does this actually work? And you can call this dot sort function on it, and basically you're saying like, hey, take this first one, and then take the second one, and then compare it by using whatever you want to use. So I'm using the name, so I want to sort alphabetically. So then you're saying, okay, take the name, and then compare to this one. So then basically it's going to iterate through the list. It's go like apples, apples, compare, apples, convenience item, compare, convenience item, cucumber, compare. Not in that order because it's already sorted, but basically go through the list, compare it to each other, and then make switches when necessary. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Where I actually use it is, of course, in the grocery list. I use it in a couple of places. I know I see some comments here, which I need to change, but anyway, I use it in a couple places here. Alphabetically sort items. So whenever I apply my filters, I'm going to sort my items. Whenever I load my items, I believe I'm also sorting my items. Maybe I'm just not saying it. There it is down below. Here it is. Yep. Okay. So whenever I actually need to change this. I had originally, this is all kind of dead code right here because now I'm automatically sorting items. I kind of need to just go back through and change it. Originally, I had a button up here, or like in my settings, that was basically like, "Hey, do you want to sort your items? If yes, do it. If no, don't." Um, that was when I thought my other upgrade was going to be to add other filters. I decided against that though, so I kind of need to change this code. Anyway, it does work on a, or it does work. This is kind of just dead code because it's never not going to be sorted. Basically, I decided that for my purposes, I'm always going to want it sorted because I kind of didn't like it just randomly thrown together. Um, I'll show why I did it this way in a minute, but this is kind of a bit of dead code. This else statement is kind of a bit of dead code because I don't need it because this is always going to be true. Which is, I think, actually what Dart is telling me up here is that my var here is always going to be true. So I can mark final. Yep, because I never change it. So I can actually do a bit of code editing to make this final. And then I come back down here and actually delete this else statement. I believe this might break stuff, but let's see. Else, if I just delete that, and then I delete that, and then I can delete that, and I can delete that. And then if I do Shift Alt F, it'll do it. Save, and that's good. Okay. Sorry about that. I changed it because I'm never actually changing the whether or not this is true or false. But anyway, as it's called, non-nuclear sorts items. That's that. We're passing in our grocery items into this file. That was a shorter of the one. But yeah, essentially just kind of sorts it out to do it. The other one is our actual filter, and this is kind of the harder one, kind of showing that off. It's up the settings icon, and I can click on whatever categories I want, and it sorts it. So if I want vegetables and other, and if I want my dairy, I don't have any dairy products. Meat, I can show the meat, and then if I kind of get rid of some of these, get rid of all the filters, it'll show my entire list of items. Yeah, when I click on one of these, it'll kind of just show if I have anything there. If I don't, it'll show nothing. Yeah, pretty cool. All the filters work. I can combine them with each other. And if you notice as well, when they're loaded in, they're also sorted into alphabetical order, which I think is pretty cool. Going into the actual code for it, that's going to be over here in Show Filters. This is where we're actually using our new thing, this little ellipsis icon. This is pretty cool. Basically just lets us add everything from our categories entry. So I'm pulling it from here. So it's taking all of these different categories. My original plan was to actually copy paste this entire file into here and then kind of remove each of these like separators, and then from there use that to kind of create a list. What I found was that was a lot of work, and I didn't really feel like doing that in the time I had. So it was taking me like 20 minutes to create a new list. So I found that just by using this and then saying, hey, map everything into this new, basically into this new row of filters, we're going to get a much better result much faster. We're using these checkboxes here. Each of these checkboxes is pretty cool. It's just like this, just a checkbox. I think we've used these before. I'm just not sure when. But as it implies, it creates a little checkbox. Each one activates a filter. So on changed, and then saying, hey, if it's selected, add it to what we're showing. Otherwise, remove it. So basically, if it's clicked, do one thing. Otherwise, do something else. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then this text here is basically just saying, like, bam, here. If I wanted the text before, like vegetables box, I could throw this text up here. Yeah, it's not, this code wasn't too complicated. This was just kind of the hardest part of like this time saver. Instead of me having to create a new list, just saying, hey, map everything here. And yeah, that's my code. I use it. This one also in this grocery list. I pulled it out of this file. Originally had it in this file in the app bar, in the actions. I pulled it out because it made this app bar completely unreadable, and also makes it easier to show kind of exactly what I did. So essentially what we're saying is filter, and then set state, and then set state we're just going to apply this apply filters, and apply filters is a new thing that I created up here. Basically says, first off, it's going to sort automatically. I can kind of get rid of this if statement as well, because we're always going to want to sort automatically. And we're going to say, okay, if we have a selected categories thing, if it's empty, it's actually just going to give us all of our items, which is very nice. If it's not empty, it's going to say, okay, take our items, and if it contains the category, display it. If it doesn't, it's going to leave it out. So that's how we're kind of doing our thingy up here. We say, hey, grab this, because meatballs is now in this selected category, so it's going to display everything that's meat. Kind of showing this off, I can go steak, and steak is a meat. We can add it, and now it's automatically going to sort it alphabetically, and it's going to add it and include it in our items here. That's pretty much it. Everything else, all the database stuff was kind of given to us. So kind of just going back over, I'm automatically sorting alphabetically, and I'm filtering out items. Once again, I kind of changed this halfway through the project where I originally had a button. Then I was like, you could choose to sort it alphabetically or not. And then I decided that was stupid. I just always wanted to sort alphabetically, so that's kind of why I have those if statements in there. Filters works though. Alphabetically sorting automatically works, and that's all I got. Thanks.